Yeah, good day. I'm Simeon. Considering the spate of suicide in our land, in the world generally, we're seeing people taking their life for one reason or the other, killing themselves. Some jumping into the lagoon, some taking chemical called sniper. For one reason or the other, taking their life, committing suicide, saying that life is not worth it. But I want you to take note of something that number one, you are important to God. How do I know that? The Bible says that God said in His Word that I know the thought that I think about you, thought of peace and not of evil, to give you a future and an expected end. That's Jeremiah 29 verse 11. God has a plan for you. He's thinking about you. He said, I know the plans that I have for you. Plans of greatness. In the book, we are looking at this issue from biblical perception. Why you should not take your life. And I'm going to take Job as our case study today. And that man called Job went through a lot, went through challenges. But he says in the book of Job chapter 14 verse 14, he says that if a man dies, shall he live again? So all the days of my appointed time will I wait till my shame comes. So the man had at the back of his knowledge that once he dies, he's not coming back again. He's asking us a question. He said, if a man dies, will he live again? That's another topic for another day. But he's telling us literally that if you die, will you live again? He said, all the days of my appointed time will I wait until my shame come. That means he knows he has a time here on earth. God has a time for him. Maybe God has said in his heart that Job are going to live for 140 years on earth. I'm speaking to him, God has in his mind has predestined that I will live for 80 years, 90 years. He knows. The psalmist says that my times are in your hand. So Job knew that God has allotted time for him to spend on earth. And he says that he's going to wait till he spends his own time. And look at what he went through. In one day, he lost his business empire. In one day, he lost all his children. In one day, he killed almost all his servants. And also in one day, he was struck with boil. Look at that great calamity that has befallen this man. He did not take his life. His wife even told him that, curse God and die. And he told the woman, you are behaving foolishly. You think foolishly. He said, God that gave us good things, are we not going to expect bad things from the Lord? But that's not where we are going to. Job did not really understand what was happening. That's why he made that statement. So, but this man went through stuff, went through challenges. And he's saying to us, he said, all the days of his appointed time will he wait. Instead of committing suicide, instead of taking his life, instead of writing off himself and saying, no, there's no hope again. The end of Job, the Bible says God turned the captivity of Job around. He gave him double than what he had before. And he also had 10 children also. And God restored back all that he lost. So if he had taken his life, that chapter 42 where God restored all that he lost will not be written. So there's a chapter about your life that if you can stay there, if you can wait around, you'll be able to write a story about your life. That you went through this, you came out, and here is the testimony of who you are today. So I want you to wait around. I want you to be hopeful. I want you to take your life. People are going through challenges in life. People in days of old have also gone through that. If you are even going through challenges, you are going through difficult times, or you are thinking of ending it, you are in a good company. Imagine Elijah. He told God, he said, God, I'm not better than my fathers. Let me ask you a question. How many of his fathers opened heaven and rained down fire from heaven? How many of his fathers commanded that heaven should be sealed for 3 years and 6 months? That there won't be rain on the earth for the space of 3 years and 6 months. None of his fathers. He said, and this man was so depressed, was so frustrated, and he says that he's not better off than his fathers, and said God should take his life away. Look at Moses. He was carrying the burden of the whole Israel on his shoulder. And he told God, said, God, this burden is too much for me. Take these people away from me. You can imagine great men of God going through depressing period, challenging period. But they cried. The beauty of their depression is that they cried to God. They looked to God in their trouble. They looked to God in their depression, in their challenges. They didn't think otherwise. They didn't say, okay, I'm going to end it. Even though their prayer was still directed to them, God should take their life away. But the beauty of it is that the way God answers them. Look at what God did for Abraham, what God did for Moses. He said, okay, this burden is too much for you. Okay, I'll give you 70 more people. I'm going to assist you in doing this job. Look at what God did for Elijah. And God said, okay, no problem. If you cannot go on again, I'll take you out of the world. But before you go, anoint somebody in your stead, Elisha. Go to this house, anoint this king. And that's what God did for him. God took him away. But the challenging thing is this, that God does not answer our prayers the way we want at times. He said, take my life. He does not answer prayers the way we want. Okay, instead of me committing, let me pray to God. God, kill me. God, take my life. God may not answer your prayers that way. But what God does is this. Times He might not grant our prayer request, but He knows a way. He finds a way to grant our petition. He knows our heart. He knows what we are going through. He knows the challenges we are battling with. That's why we are out of our frustration. We demand that God take my life away. So the first thing we need to ask ourselves when we are going through challenges, difficult period, what do we need to do? How can I handle it? The first thing I want to assure you of is that you are important to God. God is counting on you. God counts on you. He said, what is man that thou art mindful of him? The Son of Man that thou acknowledges him, that thou visitest. God pays so much attention upon your life. You are important to him. You are so valuable to him. And one of the ways I know that you are so much valuable to God was this. For God to send His only Son, His only begotten Son, to come and die on the cross on your behalf shows how important you are to Him. For God not to spare His own Son, but for Him to die shows how valuable you are to Him. Jesus said, look at the birds of the air. You don't sow, you don't reap, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Say, are you no much valuable than them? He said, look at the lilies of the field. They don't spin, they don't toil. He said, even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like any one of them. He said, you are much value than those grasses that we see today and are cast into fire tomorrow. You are valuable to God. You are so much valuable to you. You are valuable to God. You are important to God. So whatever you are going through is also important to you. What matters to you matters to God. What concerns you concerns God. Your pain, God feels your pain. Your trials, God feels your trials. That's why He's very, very willing to help you. That's why it's important that you share your burdens with the Lord. That song says, cast your burden upon the Lord. He will sustain you. He will never suffer the righteous to be moved. As for me, I will call upon God, and the Lord will help me. So God is trying to help you. If you can call upon Him, so tell God about what you are going through. Tell Him that maybe you are in a debt. Tell Him you are in a debt and you don't know the way out. Maybe somebody jilted you. Just tell Him, God, I'm heartbroken. Someone jilted me. Someone betrayed my trust. Please help me out. I feel like ending my life. Maybe you have done something wrong and you can't stand the shame. You're feeling that, how can I stand that shame? You feel that, no, I need to take my life because I can't stand the shame. Let me go and look for a chemical, a pill, a drug, or let me go and jump into the ocean and terminate my life because I can't stand this shame. Whatever shame you feel you cannot stand, somebody has gone through worse shame than that, and they're standing strong. They didn't terminate their life. Many criminals are in the prison. They are in prison today because of one crime, one atrocity they committed. And after some years, even the state can grant them amnesty. They can reabsorb them back into the community. So whatever shame you feel you are going through, you see, the devil wants you to feel that shame, you cannot bear it. You don't need to go through that shame. Let me tell you something. There was a woman caught in the very act of adultery. They brought this woman to Jesus. And Jesus said, I do not condemn you. He said, go and sin. Now, before Jesus made that statement, he told those people, he said, who among you have not sinned? Let the better person be the first person to cast the stone. So whatever shame you feel that you cannot bear. Some people have even committed atrocities that is because they are not exposed. That's why they have the boldness to say that somebody is going through this. Their own sin is much. If God opens it up for us to see what atrocity or evil or crime these people are even committing or have committed. So you said you want to terminate your life. Jesus said, I don't condemn you. So no matter the crime you feel that you have committed and the shame you feel that you cannot stand, and that because of that you're going to terminate your life. Jesus did not condemn that woman. Jesus did not write that off. He said, go, I do not condemn you. But go, don't keep doing that. Change your lifestyle. So you say, I cannot stand the shame. The Bible says in the book of Hebrews chapter 12, it says, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for joy that was set before him, despised the shame, endured the cross. The Bible says, consider him who endured such a contradiction of sinners, lest you faint in your heart. He said, look at the shame that Jesus went through. Look at the ridicule that Jesus went through. He was beaten with stripes. Actually, on the cross, Jesus died naked. You can actually see his genitals outside. So shameful the death. People were saying, look at Jesus. The Bible says, consider him who endured such a contradiction of sinners, lest you faint in your mind, lest you give up. Say, no, let me just pack it up. Or you feel that I'm going through rejection. Rejection. People are rejecting. No, Jesus went through that also. The Bible says he was a man acquainted with sorrow, a man of grief. He said, who will declare his generation? If you see him, you won't accept, you won't believe what you are seeing. His face, his visage was something that you cannot look upon. Isaiah 53. Look at what it says to us. It says about Jesus. He said he's despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrow, acquainted with grief, and we hid our face. We hid, as it were, our faces from him. He was despised, and we esteemed him not. Look at what he says. He said he was despised. So if you are going through rejection, somebody is bullying you, somebody despises you, and you feel that, oh, I cannot stand this bully, I cannot stand this rejection. The Bible says, consider him. Consider this Jesus. Consider what he went through. He was a man of sorrow. He was a man acquainted with grief. So, can you imagine what he went through? And it's not because of that, say, I'm going to terminate my life. He didn't terminate his life. Many of these great men that we're talking about, okay, on the newspapers, recently in Nigeria, some years back, banks were asked to publish the names of those who are owing them. And there were names on that list of billionaires that we know in our country, Nigeria. These men are wealthy people, rich men. And let me ask you, how much are you owing? These people are owing, they are living big and large, and they did not, because of debt, go to the extent of killing themselves. Their asset might be freezed, might be seized or confiscated just to write up their loans, but they didn't go to the extent of killing themselves. They didn't go to the extent of terminating their life. They are still alive today. They are still living today. Things can turn around for them, that they may get one political appointment. Banks can come tomorrow and say their debts are bad debts, pretty proof. So why do you need to terminate your life? Why do you need to kill yourself? Oh, my boyfriend jilted me. My girlfriend jilted me. For that reason, I have to kill myself. Let me tell you one thing. Life is so beautiful. There are thousands of ladies out there that are not married, and they are looking for somebody who will marry them, who will befriend them. And you are here, you terminate your life because one lady left you. You terminate your life. You want to terminate your life because one man jilted you. There are still men outside there eyeing you. See this beautiful lady. Oh, I wish I can walk up to her and talk to her. Oh, I love her. She's good looking. Why not just wait around and let that man come, that Mr. Right, come and approach you? Who will not jilt you, who will be faithful to you, who will be committed to your purpose in life, than terminating your life because one boy, one man who does not see any good thing in you left you. No, there's no vacuum in this world, actually. There's no vacuum. There's a vacuum. Once a vacuum exists, something will definitely fill it. So you say, one boy has left, another boy will come. One lady has left, another lady will come. So why not just wait around? I'm telling you, one lady told me no to me. Does that mean that I will end my life? I went to another lady, talked to her. The second one did not agree. No problem. I keep on moving until I met one that said, Mr. Simeon, I'll work with you. I'm married now. So, if somebody said, I don't like you, there are people that like you. There are people that love me. There are people that want me around. So, I don't need to terminate my life. I don't need to kill myself. Or maybe you are thinking, oh, this debt is much. How can I overcome this debt? Okay, you're thinking about your debt. Okay, I'm in a debt. How will I come out of this debt? There are different things you can do. You can write, this is the debt you're owing. Okay, you can talk to the people you're owing. Okay, please give me some time. Okay, can we create an installment? So you can agree with you that okay, we pay this installment, pay in installment. So you can look out for help. So people, please, I'm going, please help me out. I don't have money now, but I need to offset this debt. And you can work, look for a job, a job that can bring money in for you, and you'll be paying back little by little. Think of an idea that can generate money for you. So as you do those things, money will keep coming, and you'll be able to offset your debts. Or maybe you're bereaved. Your wife died, your husband died. I am speaking with you, I lost my wife's investment. Actually married. So, but that was a difficult time for me. It was very depressing period in my life. But, and one of the things I did in this period, I made up my mind I don't want to be a loner. So in the morning I go out, stay among people, we talk, we gist, I walk, teach. All those things kept me busy. So when I come back in the night, eat and go to bed and sleep. I pray to God, God help me, God assist me, help me to overcome this depressing period. And that's how I went for like 4 years. So I didn't kill myself, I didn't take my life. It was a difficult period in my life, but thank be to God, He saw me through that period. So you don't want to take your life. Just hold on to God. Have faith in God. Believe in God. Another thing I want you to take note is power of hope. Be hopeful. And one of the things about hope is this. There was an experiment conducted some years back, and in that experiment they put two mouse. One mice in one cubicle, another mice in another cubicle. One cubicle was totally dark, there was no space, nothing. And they kept that cubicle, they closed it up, everywhere was dark. And the other cubicle, they created a small hole into that cubicle, so a ray of light would pass through. And one mouse was kept in one cubicle and the other. So after some time, they opened the first cubicle where there was no light. They found that the mice there died. Then the second cubicle, like a hole was created in. They opened it up after some time. They found that the mice in that cubicle lived. And they found that because that little hole in that second cubicle, that little helped the second mice to be alive, kept it alive. So that's how hope works. People who are hopeless, people who have no hope, they die very fast. They feel everything is hopeless. And one of the greatest things you need to know about suicide is the extreme end of hopelessness. People don't see hope again. So they feel that the best thing to do is to pack it up and check out. But when you have hope, it's like that ray of light that keeps that miles alive. You have an expectation that I can still stay around. Things are going to get better. Things are not going to be like this forever. Something good is in store for me. I'll wait around, like Job said. He said, all the days of my appointed time will I wait until my change comes. You saw change coming and everything. You saw that something better is coming, that is not going to be in that situation forever. That situation is going to end one day. There's going to be a change for the better, and that change is coming. So he kept around. He said, I'm going to stay around until that change comes. Until that change comes. So I want you to stay around. Have hope. The Bible tells us in the book of 1 Timothy about this hope. Hope is not just that four-letter word that we say H-O-P-E. Hope is a person. The Bible says that Jesus Christ, our hope. So we need to see Jesus as hope himself. As a person. And the reason why I'm bringing Jesus into this podcast is for us to be able to know how to assess his help. Because many of us say, Jesus has died. Yes, Jesus died. But he said in the book of Revelation chapter 1 verse 18, he said, I am he that died, and I'm alive. And I died. And I am he that was alive, I was dead, and I'm alive forever, and I have the key of hell and death. So that's what he said. Now, the point I want to bring out is this, that he died, he rose again. Now, he lived, and when he lived, when he was on earth, more than 2,000 years ago, when he was on earth, he worked wonders. People that were facing hopeless situations, he gave them hope. Jairus' daughter was dead. They called Jesus. He said, the man called Jesus, says, come, my daughter is dead. They know the daughter was still not dead at that particular time, but when by the time he got there, he died. The girl has died. You know, say, don't bother the master anymore. The girl is dead. Because actually, the man lived after his death, like what Job said. He said, but Jesus gave hope. He said, don't just believe. And Jesus went to that room. He said, damsel, Talita Konim. He said, damsel, rise up. And the girl rose up from the dead. He gave hope. So there were people who were facing challenges. The woman with the issue of blood. And the Bible says he went to many physicians and they could not heal her. So we came in her heart, she had an idea that if she can touch the arm of the garment of Jesus, she will be healed. And she did that, and she was healed. There was no food in the wilderness, and Jesus wanted to feed them. Little bread, little fish, multiplied and fed people. Lazarus was dead for days. Jesus came there, he rose Lazarus up. The disciples of Jesus were facing a raging storm on the sea. Jesus said, calm, storm, be still, be calm. Now, why I'm bringing all these things is that Jesus did all these miracles. He opened the eyes of the blind. He cleansed lepers, those who are demon possessed. He delivered them. He did wonders in their life. He gave them hope. Those who are sick, he healed them. Now, all those wonders that we see Jesus do, because he's risen, because he's alive, therefore he can do that. He can do the same in our life, in this our present dispensation. He can repeat those miracles for us. So whatever challenges we are going through, Jesus, because he's alive, and because we have made him our hope, because he is hope. Hope is a person. Don't just see it as just a verb. See hope as a person. Jesus said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. He's telling you that you should see him as a person. You are seeing truth as a person, way as a person, truth as a person. He said, I'm the resurrection and the life. Don't see resurrection as an event or a doctrine that is going to be preached some years to come, or an event that is going to come to pass in some time to come. No, Jesus is saying, see me as a person. I am the resurrection and the life. I am the way, the truth, and the life. I am hope. Hope is a person. The day you start seeing Jesus as a person, start seeing hope as a person, that day you won't want to commit suicide again. You won't want to go to the extent of committing suicide. You won't want to go to the extent of killing yourself. Because Jesus is your hope. And because he's alive, you can face tomorrow. Because He's alive, He will make a way for you. He will part the Red Sea that is before you. The raging storm that is raging against you, He will command you to become still. That debt, as He helped that woman, that widow, that they came to take his sons to sell as slaves, and with the help of that prophet, Jesus is greater than Elisha, and He helped that woman. That woman, He said, go into your room, take the bottle of oil, pour it into the vessels, and use the money you have from the sales from those oil, use it to pay your debt and take care of your children. Jesus can do that for us also. So whatever situation we are going through, Jesus is able to help us. He is our hope. That's why we need Him in our life. You need Him. You don't need to go to the extent of killing yourself, because Jesus is alive. The Bible says there are no temptation taken by such that is common to man. But God is faithful. He will not allow you to turn above that you are able. But in that temptation, you make a way of escape. God has a plan for you. He has a plan for you. He says, my thoughts are not your thoughts. My ways are not your ways. As the heaven is far from the earth, so are my ways far away from your own ways. That's why we need to allow God into your situation. Open up your heart to God. God, I need your help. I need your help. You need hope. And see Jesus as your hope. Hope in Him. Believe in Him. Trust in Him. You need to go to the extent of killing yourself. Jesus can make a way for you. Jesus can help you in that situation. That's why you need to believe in Him. If you have not accepted Him as your Lord and Savior, you can do that. Just call upon Him. Say, Jesus, I believe that you can help me. I believe you died for me on the cross. I believe that Jesus, that you died and that God rose you up from the dead. And I confess with my mouth that you are the Lord. The Bible says you will be saved. The Bible says whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. So with the mouth, with the heart man believes. With the heart, no mouth confession is made unto salvation. So you can believe on Jesus, accept Him as your Lord and Savior. Come and see Him making ways for you. Come and see Him giving you reasons why you should stay around, why you should believe in Him, why you should hold on that something is going to get better. Situation is going to get better. Things are going to get better. Your life, God is going to beautify your life with His salvation. Stay around. Life is going to be good. God did it for Job. The Job we are reading about, that we say that all the days of my appointed time will I wait until my shame came. Until my shame will come. Shame came. In the book of Job chapter 42, the Bible says God turned around the captivity of Job and gave him double than he had before. That the latter end of Job was more blessed than his beginning. That is, even though your beginning is small, latter end shall be more blessed. So believe in God, the Lord will bless you, the Lord will keep you, the Lord will uphold you, will give you reasons to live. He will uphold you with His power. He will make His face shine upon you. Where there is a trouble, God will give you solution. God will uphold you. He will be your strength. Then we also need to build inner fortitude. One of the prayers of Paul to the people of Ephesians said, I bow down my knees to God the Father, after whom the whole family of heaven and earth is named, that He will grant unto you that you be strengthened in your inner man by His Spirit. So we need inner fortitude. The Bible says the spirit of a man can bear his infirmities. That means if a man faints in the day of adversity because his strength is small. So adversity is something that is going to happen to all of us. All of us are going to face adversity, but the strength of our spirit matters. If we don't build our spirit, we are just consuming what's on the TV. We don't have time to pray, to read the Word of God, to fellowship with the people of God. Those are means that we can build our spirit. Read the Bible, read Christian books that will edify you, your spirit, that will make you strong. Ask for the filling of the Holy Spirit, that the Holy Spirit will fill you. All these things will build your spirit. You'll be able to stand. You'll be able to, no matter the difficult times, suicide will not be an option. You will be thinking of what God can do. that situation. Don't see yourself as a victim of circumstances. Don't have that Israeli mentality that we are like grasshoppers before problems. He saw the children of Anak. He said they are giants. Not knowing that greater is he that is in them than he that is in the world. God that brought them out of Egypt, destroyed the firstborn of Israel. Egypt. Part the Red Sea for them. Brought water forth for them. Gave them manna. They never thought of all the wonders that God was doing for them. They forgot. So that's why they were saying that these sons of Anak, they are like giants. Even though you are small, you are not small. You have a great God in you. He lives in you. He dwells in you. And he wants to demonstrate his power through. The Bible says in the book of Ephesians 3:20, he said, now unto God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think or imagine, according to the power that works in us. That's what I'm talking about, the power of God in our life. That power makes you greater than the sons of Anak, makes you greater than the devil and the demons and his hosts. So you are great, you are powerful, you are a miracle going somewhere to happen. God believes in you. He has deposited a lot in you and is still ready and willing to deposit in you. So open God. Don't go to the extent of killing yourself. Open God. You are a wonder. You are a miracle. You are a success. The Lord bless you in Jesus' name.